Integration Objects is pleased to demonstrate how you can use the OPC Easy Archiver product to collect alarms and events in real time and store them into a standard database such as SQL Server, MySQL or Oracle. This is the main user interface of the OPC Easy Archiver. To begin, add a connection to an OPC AE server by right-clicking the OPC AE Servers button, then select Connect to AE Server. In this window, select the server you want to connect to and then click Connect to confirm your configuration. Right-click on the server node and select the Add Event Subscription button to create a new event subscription to a connected OPC AE server. Enter the subscription name. Here you can also configure the buffer time, the max size of events that will be sent in a single callback, and the status of the subscription, which is active by default. Click OK to confirm. Here is the list of alarms and events received from our OPC AE servers from the start time till now in the View Alarms logger. Right-click on the OPC AE server and then select Display Area and Source Browser to view the available areas and sources of an OPC AE server. In this window, you can browse and discover the existing areas and sources of our OPC AE server. Right-click on the subscription, then select View Current Alarms from the displayed menu. The alarms and events fired by all OPC AE servers are displayed in this screen view in real time, so you can monitor the latest alarm characteristic changes over time. Now let's add our AE archiver. Right-click on the subscription and select Configure Archiver. The Add New AE Archiver wizard is prompted. Click Next. Here configure the subscription to be assigned to your archiver. We need to name our archiver and select the database type. In this demo, we will use a SQL Server database to archive our alarms and events. You may click the refresh button to browse the SQL Server instances available on the network or manually enter your SQL Server instance name. Select the authentication mode. Click the refresh button to list the available databases and select the desired database. Test your connection and then click Next. In this step, we need to configure the table where the alarms and events will be stored. You can either select an existing table or create new one. For the new table option, enter the table name and click the Select Column button to add or remove columns to your table. By default, all the columns are selected. Click Next. Verify your configuration and then click Finish. As you can see, the table is successfully added to the SQL database. To start the archiver, right-click on it and select Start Archiver from the displayed menu. Now we will check the archived alarms in the database. As you can notice, alarms and events are successfully being stored in the table. Let's now configure an alarm filter for our event subscription. Right-click on the subscription node and select Subscription Filter. You can set the filter criteria based on the event type, severity, category, area and sources. For the purpose of this demo, we are going to filter alarms and events by source. Select the source, then add sources using the arrow button. Then, click OK. As you can see in the alarms logger view, only the alarms and events received from the selected sources will now be displayed. Let's check the alarms in the database. You can see that the alarms and events of the selected sources only are stored. Now, we are going to save our configuration. Click the Save button in the File menu. Enter a name for your configuration and click Save. Click the Define button and select your configuration file to set the configuration as default configuration. This will load the configuration automatically when you restart the OPC Easy Archiver. Exit the application and open it again. Verify that the default configuration is loaded. As you can see, the alarms archiving started automatically after restarting the OPC Easy Archiver. So far, we have demonstrated how you can retrieve and store the standard attributes of alarms and events. But you can also retrieve the vendor-specific alarm attributes. To do so, right-click on the archiver and select Stop Archiver, then select Modify Table Columns and check the Use Separate Columns for Attributes option. Then, configure Attributes Mapping. Here, you can edit the column name of your database table or use the default OPC AE server attribute name. To edit the column name, double-click on the text available in column name, enter the name, then click Enter and click OK, and select the OK button to save the configured attributes. To select the attributes to be retrieved, right-click on the subscription node and then select Returned Attributes. Select an event type from the drop-down list, double-click on an event category, and the list of available event attributes will be displayed. Check one or more event attributes, click Apply, then OK to save the configuration. Now we start the archiver. Let's check the stored table in the SQL databases. The column name of the database table are modified, and the values of the attributes selected for each event category are inserted to the table. The OPC Easy Archiver provides store and forward capability. In fact, the OPC Easy Archiver monitors the connection with the configured database and locally store the received alarms when the connection with the database is down. To configure this option, click Configure, go to the Archiver Settings tab, then check the Automatic when the archiver is running option and set a period. Click OK, then restart the OPC Easy Archiver for the configuration changes to take effect. Now, we are going to simulate a connection break with the SQL Server by stopping the SQL service. The OPC Easy Archiver automatically detected that the connection with the SQL database is down. Now, you will notice that SQL backup files are created automatically and stored in the OPC Easy Archiver installation folder. When we open this file, we will find all alarms received during the disconnection period. Now, let us re-establish the connection by restarting the SQL service. Once the connection between the SQL database and the OPC Easy Archiver is re-established, the alarms saved in the backup files will be forwarded to the SQL database and the files will be deleted from the installation folder after data recovery. Let's check that the alarms received during the disconnection period are recovered in the SQL table. We organized the alarms by event time, and as you can see, the alarms were saved in the SQL table. In this demo video, we briefly demonstrated how you can retrieve alarms in real time and store them in an SQL database. Integration Objects OPC Easy Archiver guarantees safe data archiving without any configuration difficulties. Thank you for watching this demo video. Make sure to check out our other demo video on how to store OPC real-time and historical data in an SQL database. If you need any further information, please contact us at sales@integrationobjects.com.